Common nonsense. Today in Common Nonsense, ConTrails. Are they microchipping your vaccines? ConTrails, sometimes called chemtrails by people who are trying to scare you into donating to their congressional campaigns, are those long wispy clouds that sometimes follow jets in the sky. One day a friend of mine asked me why planes turn on contrails when they fly. This is when I realized I needed to get better friends. But I also realized that this misconception was more commonplace than I thought. After all, if you look up into the sky, sometimes you can see the trails start and stop. So what is happening? Well, if you've ever seen your breath on a cold winter morning, you already know how this works. That happens when your breath is hot and full of water vapor, and when the air that it exhales into is colder than the freezing point of water, all that hot condensation turns into a steamy cloud of ice crystals that you can see right in front of your eyes. That's exactly what contrails are. They're condensation trails. Now, if you walk from inside where it's warm and you can't see your breath, and then you walked outside into the cold where you suddenly can see your breath, you didn't turn on your own contrails. You just moved to where the conditions were right. And for the same reason, when a jet is flying lower than when the air is warm, you won't see a trail. But as the air gets colder and colder, eventually the conditions become right and the condensation trail turns on all by itself, just like your breath would if you were a gremlin on the wing of that plane. So contrails are basically harmless, but are they harmless? Turns out they're not completely harmless. First and foremost, the engines that are creating all that water vapor are also spewing out tons of carbon pollution into the air. So while contrails themselves don't pollute the air, the same engines that created them basically do. There's also the visual component of contrails. For one thing, they make the sky look much more industrial and trippy, like a 70s prog rock album cover. But they're also a dead giveaway of the jet's current location, which is why military planes go out of their way to not create trails. Contrails also have a climate impact. On the one hand, the bright white from them reflects some of the sun's rays back out into space, which is a cooling effect. But the clouds also trap in some of the warmth radiating off the Earth, which has a warming effect. And unfortunately, the warming wins out. Studies have shown that smarter flight paths that avoid certain types of cold, moist air could have a net monetary benefit to the climate in the trillions and trillions of dollars. So fear not, contrails are not chemtrails. Chemical industries have much more secretive ways to dispose of their toxic waste. They're not going to shoot them out the backs of airplanes. Many scientists have checked if there were chemicals besides burnt oil coming out of the back of planes. We would know it because scientists love to find out shit like that. So don't be fooled by the contrail hype. Don't be. Chemicals are not raining down on you from the sky from contrails. They're only in the air and drinking water and ground all around us. Here's a video of some contrails that I took just outside, and as an added bonus, you can see the jet appears to be flying straight up from my perspective, which can only happen on a round Earth. So drive-by debunking flat Earth